Hi, welcome back for another video tutorial. Again, I apologize for my English. It's not my first language. So we are going to open the list of practice challenges from Microverse. I'm going to put the link in the description for the list of practice challenges for those who are interested. So we have already solved the two challenges here. Today we are going to look at challenge number 3. Return the factorial of the provided integer. So what is the meaning of factorial? If the integer is represented with the letter n, a factorial is the product of all positive integers less than or equal to n. Factorials are often represented with the shorthand notation n exclamation mark. For example, 5 factorial is equal to 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. So if there were 7, it would be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 7. That's factorial. Only integers greater than or equal to 0 will be supplied to the function. What I'm going to do, I'm going to set a variable, declare a variable var x is equal to 1. Okay, I will take num, decrease num by 1, so num multiply by num minus 1, multiply by num minus 2, num multiply by num minus 3 until it reaches 1. While, this time I'm going to use while loop. In my previous video I used for loop, and I didn't go in very detail. I did go, it took me around 20 minutes to make that video, but I didn't talk about the layout of the for loop. The for loop, you type for like this, and then you declare, let's say, a variable I is equal to something 0, and then you put its condition I is less than num minus 1, something like that, and then I plus plus, and then open curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket you type the code that needs to be executed. Okay, that's the way it should look like. This time we are going to use while loop. While num is greater than 0. Why while num is greater than 0? Because factorial, look at on the left here, factorial, the lowest number is always 1. If the num is 5, it will start from 1, multiply by 2, by 3, by 4, until it reaches num, which is 5. So num, the condition is that num has to be greater than 0, so at least 1. And then I say x is equal to x multiplied by num. Okay, we say x is equal to x multiplied by num. So the initial value of x is 1. The new value of x is going to be x multiplied by num. So if num is 5, it will be 1 multiplied by 5. And then I say num minus minus. So let's use the example of 5 here. 5, if num is 5, what is going to happen? X is equal to, for the initial value of x is 1, multiply by 5, okay, then it is a loop. In the previous video I used the for loop. This is while loop. What is the meaning of loop? Means it goes on until the condition is not met anymore. So as long as num is greater than 0, we have to continue doing the loop. X is equal to 1 times 5. Then num is still greater than 0. And then okay, so x is equal to x times num. Then we do this num minus minus. It will this num minus minus means it will reduce num by 1. So num will become 4. Then x is equal to, what is the new value of x? 1 times 5 here. So it becomes 5. Multiply by new value of num is 4. Because num minus minus, okay, then x is equal to, new value of x is equal to, what was the previous value of x? See, 5 multiplied by 4, it becomes 20. Multiply by new value of num minus minus, num was recently was 4, so now it becomes 3. Okay, x is equal to, new value of x now, 20 times 3, 60. Multiply by new value of num, it was 3, so, and then num minus minus, it becomes 2. Again we have to do this part again, and then this one, then this one, and then this one, then this one, until num is no longer greater than 0. So now x is equal to 60 times 2, 120, multiply by num minus minus, previous value of num was 2 here, you see, so now it becomes 1. Okay, again num minus minus, it becomes 0. So when it tries to do the loop again, while num is greater than 0, but it is not greater than 0 now, because after the num minus minus, if I try again, x is equal to 120, because 120 multiplies by 1 is equal to 120. Now multiply by 0? No, we don't do this one, because the condition there is num has to be greater than 0. So it stops there. The value of x is 120. 120 times 1 is 120. So x is 120. That is the factorial of 5. Okay, so all this, what I've done here, we don't have to type this. It does it automatically with the while loop. All we have to do is return x, and that's it. Now I want to check console.log to see if it gives us the value 120. Okay, you can see down here 120. If I change the value of 5, I put 7, 5040. If I put 100, okay, that's a very big number. 10, you see, that's the value. Let me put a small number. Let's put 4. 4 times 3, 12 times 2, 24 times 1, 24. Here it is. Okay, so it works. Let's check it. Good. We have liftoff. So thank you for watching. I have tried to be as detailed as possible, and if you still have questions, please write your questions in the comments, and I'm going to post the link of the list of practice challenges in the description. So see you next time.